Listen to that. That is this week's review coming at you right there. This is one of the most unpractical, awesome knives that I own. And shameless plug to my main channel, Gear Runner. If you don't follow me on Gear Runner, go check it out, where I do a lot of car reviews and stuff like that. We have several vehicles on the channel, and Joe, check that out. Just got that hat in. I think it looks pretty good. Don't know if I'll have many of them to sell or give away because my family all wants them, but that's what the next batch will look something like. I think I'm going to do it in all black, though. I don't think they're going to do any tan. But that's not what this video about. This is about the badness right here. Look at this knife. It is a beast. Let me back that up just a little bit, and look at that. That's enormous. Cold Steel 4MAX. This is the real 4MAX, not the Scout. Not saying the Scout isn't a real 4MAX, but this is the first 4MAX with the CPM 20 CV blade and the G10 scales. Now, this is the one that was made in Italy, not the US. I think the US version actually had like a tan scale or something like that. I do prefer the gray scales, and I also heard, and I've never looked at a USA made version, but they said that the Italian made version was a little bit better detail wise than the USA made version. I don't know. Fit and finish, they said, was a little better. I don't know. Like I said, I've never handled a US version, but the Italian version is pretty awesome. Okay, let's get into some specs. The overall length is 10 inches. This knife is huge. Huge. It's 10 inches. Blade length, 4 inches. Cutting edge is also basically 4 inches. It didn't say, but you can see here that the edge of the blade ends right here, and the edge and the cutting edge pretty much ends right there. So I'm going to say the cutting edge is pretty well a full 4 inches, which I like that. I think that's pretty awesome. When they put a big choil right here and take off, a quarter of your cutting edge, I just don't like that. I feel like I'm losing part of the knife to a choil. I like the way they put the choil back here and gave you a full 4-inch cutting edge on this knife. Now, the blade looks like it's bigger than 4 inches. That's because it is enormous right here. It is 1.55 inches across this blade. That's nuts. That's massive. And the blade thickness is 0.18. I'll show you both sides here. Look how thick that stock is on that 20 CV. This is probably one of the biggest slabs of 20 CV in a knife that there is. Crazy. And you can see that full 10 inches right here. I mean, that's just nuts. Like I said, this is the CPM 20 CV version. I think they make a new one that is a lot cheaper than this. This knife is actually discontinued. You can still find them at Botalk Tactical, I think it is. That's where I found this one. They do still have some of those in stock. But like Blade HQ and everybody are out of these, and this knife has been discontinued. So if you want one, I would advise you go over there and pick one up, because they do have these on sale or discounted rate because they are discontinued. And just for about $100 more than you can get like the AUS 8 version, you can get the 20 CV version, and it has G10 handles where the AUS 8 version don't, and it has titanium liners. I mean, there are some major upgrades to this knife, and I think it's worth the $100 more than the AUS 8 version, in my opinion. It was not worth what these knives were when they first come out. I don't think. They were close to $400, and I just couldn't bring myself to pay $400 for Cold Steel. I'm sorry, Cold Steel. I couldn't bring myself to do it, because Cold Steel are known to have budget knives, not $400 knives. And I just couldn't bring myself. But when this knife got down to $239.98, I was all over it. So it does have a drop point blade with a high flat grind, but it does have some nice flats right here, so that if this thing and when this thing gets dull, I can hook this up in the wicked edge, barring that it's not so heavy that it won't stay in the clamp, and sharpen it with no problems. I like it when a knife has just a little bit of flats so that I can hook it up, because the way that wicked edge hooks up, I do have a video back earlier on showing how the wicked edge works, and I think I'm sharpening a Sabenza in it, but it shows how it all clamps up and how it all works, and it works a little bit better, or it's a little bit easier, not saying it works better, but it's a little easier if you have some flats to work with. So handle length is 6 inches. This thing's a beast. I mean, look, and that's not even up on the choil. I have that much sticking out. If I get up on the choil, I mean, you could almost fit 2 hands on this thing. You fit like a hand and a half if you get up on the choil. It's amazing how big this knife is. It carries well, though. I want to say I've been carrying it the last couple of days. I know this video is late, but it carries pretty well. There are a few things that I don't like about it, and we'll go over that when I do the final review. But I don't really notice that I have, 9.2 ounces in my pocket, which is very likely going to deter a lot of people from buying this and using it as an EDC, because most people don't want to go over 4 ounces, 4 to 5 ounces. This thing is double that, or more than double that. But I love it. I've always loved big, beefy knives. This is the epitome of big, beefy knives. Okay, so the handle thickness is 0.67, so a little over a ½ inch thick. It does have the triad lock, which is probably the strongest lock on the market today. And listen to this. I mean, when this thing locks up, it's a bank vault. But I will say, it's a little hard to flip. It's such a long stroke. It's just hard to, there we go. It's hard to flip open. I don't flip this knife open a lot. I usually just open it, like this, because it's such a wide knife to get in to try to flip open. I'm not in that big a hurry. I've not got nobody to impress. This thing's going to impress them no matter how you open it. When they see this, they're going to be like, he's carrying a small sword. Like I said before, the knife is made in Italy. And, when I looked at Blade HQ, they said the best use for this knife is EDC. Other than me, who EDCs a knife that's 10 inches long and 9.2 ounces? I'm sure there's people out there that do it, but I bet there's not a lot. So my best use is, I'm going to say, tactical folder, because this thing has the heft, it has the reach, it has the handle, has the traction, has the choil, and this right here is for nothing. This is for looks, because they made it to look like the Andrew Demko knife, and his has this, and that's why they put that in there. But the cold seal one, that does nothing. You put a pin through there, it doesn't lock it. I mean, it will stop it from closing, but you still have blade play or wiggle in there. It doesn't completely lock that off. So that's for nothing. But this is a tactical folder, in my opinion. Like I said, the price, $239.98, way better than the original price of this knife, and that was from Botac Tactical, or Botac, I'm not sure how to pronounce that. But this knife right here, awesome. I've been waiting to carry this knife and review this knife ever since I had it. I've had it for a few months now, probably, and I don't know why I didn't review it sooner, but look at this. Look at this thing right here. Oh my gosh. Titanium pocket clip, just a beast. And it's so comfortable. I mean, it's so comfortable in your hand. I mean, there's like no hot spots really. There's a little bit of a sharp edge right here for the indentation for the lock. But other than that, and I don't really feel it when I grip it, so it's not bad. But if you feel it like this right here, you can kind of feel the hot spot right there. But this knife is pretty awesome. I didn't bring anything to compare it to because there's nothing that compares to this. I appreciate y'all watching this video. Please like, share, and subscribe. I'll see you all in a few days to give you my final thoughts. It'll probably be lower than you think on how excited I am about this. But I love this knife, but realistically, it's just not practical. See y'all in a few days.